Yo, YouTube, what's going on, man? Willie Lloyd wasn't just a gang leader. He was a self-proclaimed king of kings. And if you missed my last video on Willie Lloyd, go check it out. It's a good war story for you. Check out the playlist. Now, just like I said, Willie Lloyd, he was a self-proclaimed king of kings who ran the vice lords like a military. But behind the walls of Logan Correctional Center, the eagle turned savage. From controlling phone lines to ordering hits from solitary. Lloyd, man, he ran prison like a CEO until one day he beat a white civilian school teacher unconscious, not once but multiple times. The guards didn't come for about 2 hours, and when they did, it was too late. Now, this is the untold prison story that you would never hear anywhere else. How one man, he turned prison into a kingdom. Chicago gangland produced a lot of names, but none as bold, brutal, or feared as Willie Lloyd, the man who once led the unknown vice lords with an iron fist on the streets. Didn't lose his grip when he was in prison. When the prison gates closed and got slammed, he simply moved his throne. This is the story of how, while locked up in Logan Correctional Center, Lloyd declared himself king of kings, terrorizing staff, dominated inmates, and used violence, manipulation, and fear to keep control of the west side of Chicago from behind bars. Willie Lloyd was no stranger to the headlines after rising to power during Chicago's gang wars of the 70s and the 1980s. He earned his infamy through intimidation, military-style structure, and a cutthroat approach to leadership. His downfall came when he was charged with the murder of an Iowa State trooper during a traffic stop gone wrong. Coupled with federal weapons charges, Willie Lloyd was taken off the streets and sentenced to years behind bars. But if authorities thought prison would contain him, they didn't understand who they were dealing with. Upon arrival at Logan Correctional Center, Lloyd, he wasn't like other inmates. He didn't come in quiet. He didn't lay low. He walked through those gates like a general returning from battle. Immediately, he set the tone. He proclaimed himself the king of kings, not just over the vice lords, but over every gang faction represented inside Logan. It was more than ego. It was declaration of dominance. Logan at the time wasn't built to handle someone with Lloyd's street influence. Guards underestimated him. Inmates whispered about him. But it didn't take long before he was running things from the inside. Now, one of Lloyd's first moves inside Logan was to take control of the inmate phone system, the only direct lifeline to the outside world. He didn't just use the phones, he took them. He made it known that his business came first. If you were on a call list and he needed that line, you were giving it up. He had soldiers throughout the tiers, and they enforced the policy. If Willie had orders to give, someone else's mother wouldn't be getting a call that day. Inmates, man, they were forced to make calls on his behalf, using their pens, their voices, to connect them with street lieutenants. And through the system, man, Willie Lloyd continued directing operations on Chicago's west side. But the most disturbing moment came during what should have been a calm routine, which was GED class. The prison required educational programming for certain inmates, and Willie, despite his status, was no exception. That day, a white civilian teacher told Willie to sit down and stop interrupting the session, and that was it. That's all it took. Willie stood up and knocked the man unconscious with a single punch. But he didn't stop there. Every time the man would gain conscience and come to a sense, Willie, he hit him again and again and again, over the course of nearly 2 hours. The most shocking part, no guards came. Whether they were scared of him or indifferent, they left the teacher alone with Lloyd. Inmate witnesses later said that they'd never seen anything like it. When staff finally responded, the teacher had been knocked out multiple times, beaten senseless by one man's bare fist. Willie, man, he went back to his cell like nothing happened. For the brutal assault, Willie Lloyd was sentenced to 2 years in a hole, solitary confinement. But even then, he didn't lose influence. He bribed the guards, he used prison staff to deliver messages, and kept the communication flowing to the outside. Now, his ego, it didn't deflate, it expanded. He told one CEO, the cell don't change nothing. They still follow my orders out there. In the hole, he had no radio, no clock, no window, just time. But for Willie, time was a tool. He planned it, reflected, and sharpened the control strategies. He was already thinking about what he had to do when he got back to the general population. Meanwhile, Logan was shifting. With Willie locked down, rival factions, the gangster disciples, Latin folks, even unaffiliated groups, man, they tried to fill the vacuum, but they knew it. They knew it wouldn't last that long. Willie's Vice Lord network remained strong. He had trusted hitters in key dorms. They controlled commissary, shower time, mail routes, even library privileges. If you crossed them, man, you didn't get a warning. You got an example made out of you. Now the guards, they tightened restrictions, but Willie had already learned the game. He used fear more than force, leveraging the idea of what he could do. Now, what made Willie Lloyd truly dangerous wasn't just what he did, it was how he saw himself. He didn't care about loyalty unless it served him. He didn't believe in remorse or redemption. He believed in power, image, and control at any cost. Even in letters, even when he wrote letters home, he signed as the King of Kings, often reminding younger vice lords that he was still the only one who ran it right. Some inmates found religion in prison. Willie, he found deeper obsession. He wasn't looking for forgiveness. He wasn't waiting to resume control. When Lloyd finally returned to general population after 2 years in the hole, Logan felt different. Some younger inmates didn't know him personally, but they'd hear the stories, the brutal stories, the school teacher, the phones, the fear, all types of stuff, man. You better watch out and play it safe. Willie returned with fewer words, but the same sharp stare. He didn't walk around deep anymore. He didn't have to. One look from him sent messages louder than threats. But things had changed. DOC was monitoring calls harder, flipping inmates as informants, and moving known gang leaders more frequently to keep them isolated. But still, from a brief window, Willie Lloyd ruled Logan, just like he ruled Chicago. Just like I said earlier, if you missed my Willie Lloyd versus Ty Williams, man, you gotta go check that joint out, man. If you like war stories and turf wars, he came home trying to extort people, so don't forget to hit that playlist. But if you like the video, let me get a like. If you're new, subscribe. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on the content. Go to members22.com. Check out the merchandise if you fly. But if you're not, don't worry about it. Hit the Patreon. I hope everything's going well from everyone out there, man. I appreciate the love. Don't be a stranger. Hit the comments, get the likes up. I'm out.